Coming in from the Supreme Court today, 10:30 a.m. It started off with Sabarimala, and within 10 minutes we had all three of them. Rafale followed by the contempt case of Rahul Gandhi. Take us through each one of them. Let's begin with the case of Sabarimala. Give us the latest on that.
Well, Preeti, the Sabarimala judgment in a 3-2 verdict has been referred to a larger 7-judge bench. The court has very clearly said that while this issue is going to affect a lot of other questions of of validity of faith versus questions of gender that have been raised in other aspects as well, including entry of women, of Muslim women into mosques and dargahs, entry of Parsi women into agyaris, the question of female genital mutilation among Daudi Bohras. These were cited as the major examples. Questions of faith versus gender and something that what extent the court can interfere in this issue have to be decided by a larger bench. That is what the court has said. If I can just read this out, the court has set out several issues that have to be considered by this larger bench.
Okay, Anisha, till the time now the 7-judge bench reviews these petitions, is there a stay on women going to Sabarimala, or that continues?
Well, no, actually, Preeti, there is no stay. The majority verdict as it stood on the 28th of September 2018 currently stands. In fact, there's been no comment from the court with regard to this because the review petitions themselves have been kept pending. So there is no order at this moment that is blocking women from entry. Remember, when the review petitions, the hearing had started, the petitioners had asked the Supreme Court to put a stay on entry of women. At that time specifically, the court said we are not passing any stay. Whatever we've ordered is going to continue. So that interim order even today is continuing. In fact, what is interesting is in the dissenting judgment by Justice Nariman and Justice Chandrachud, Justice Nariman has given a very scathing criticism of what happened, the kind of opposition, the kind of protest that happened last year. He has said that the decision of the Supreme Court binds everyone. Compliance with a court order is not an optional point. The government must take steps to ensure fulfillment of constitutional values and orders of the court, and any organized acts of resistance to thwart the judgment of this court cannot be allowed. So very clear statement coming in from the dissenting judges, but even the majority judgment has not said anything about entry of women. Therefore, by reference, the entry of women continues by the interim order that was passed earlier this year.
You know, Anisha, stay with me, collect your thoughts on Rafale, and right after that we're going to come to the Rafale judgment, but I'm going to take two quick comments. Before I do so, I want to tell our viewers, so the review petitions have been now referred by the learned judge bench at Supreme Court to a larger bench, a 7-judge bench. They will be hearing the review petitions. Now, this judge bench would be headed by the new Chief Justice of India whenever Mr. Bobde takes over. Let's cut across to Trupti Desai, get in a word in, and then we'll go across to Naveen Chomal.
महिलाओं को उनका जो समानता का अधिकार नहीं मिल रहा है, राइट टू प्रे का अधिकार नहीं मिल रहा है, और पितृसत्ताक जो पद्धति है, जो एक माइंडसेट है, वो कहीं ना कहीं चेंज करने की बारी इस निर्णय के माध्यम से अभी आ रही है. तो मुझे लगता है कि जो लार्जर बेंच है वो भी जो निर्णय देगा वो संविधान ने दिए हुए अधिकार का ही इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करने के लिए निर्णय दे सकता है.
Well, the point is, if any woman menstruating wants to go to Sabarimala can do so, because there is no stay on that even till the time the larger bench hears. So that there is no stay. I want to cut across to Naveen Chomal. Naveen Chomal, you know, it was very rare that the Supreme Court even entertains review petitions, leave alone, refer them to a larger bench. There's hardly been any precedent, less than 1%. It's happened in this case.
As a paradigm shift of the Supreme Court on the topic of Hindu Dharma. Because Supreme Court judges, they may be expert in the point of law on the constitution issues, but they are not expert on the issues of Dharma. And ultimately this issue is basically totally related to Dharma. One has to understand the concept of Brahmacharya and what the Brahmacharya means, why it is being followed, what are its implications. So ultimately, it is not a very simple issue where we are trying to do some injustice on the woman or trying to show them that they are inferior. It is absolutely not. There are many varied cultures in India.
Mr. Chomar, I don't want to get into. I don't want to get, Mr. Chomar.
Girls are worshipped on the day of Ashtami.
I don't want to get into an argument. I don't want to get into an argument, but mind you, sir, it's only been referred to a larger bench. Nothing else has happened. It's not the final word. It's only been referred to a larger bench. That is what the case has been.
Yes, that is true, but ultimately court has given a thought that yes, this issue deserves to be considered. I am not claiming it that the court has reversed the order. I am not saying it so imprudently. But ultimately, Supreme Court will have to also consider that they cannot keep the issue so simple that it is a issue of injustice on the woman. So this is not a case of injustice on the woman. In Hindu Dharma, women are worshipped as Ma Durga.
But sir, have you also read the dissent note?
Men are not allowed.
Have you read the dissent note?
There are temples where women are worshipped.
Okay. Have you read the dissent note? But anyway, okay, I'm going to come right back to you.
What about the dissent note?
I'm going to come. Okay, I'll come. Yes.
I've heard it on your channel.